On one stormy night, in the heart of the jungle, the ominous hum of the rain created an eerie symphony, allowing the phantoms to remain hidden within the skies. Now, the phantoms, demonic creatures born of the night, swarmed the darkened skies in the pursuit of souls of the sleepless. Their darkened forms moved in flocks, a haunting dance that terrorized the world below. And all seemed to be unfolding as per their usual nocturnal routine. Until the atmosphere suddenly thickened with an unexpected tension as, emerging from the towering trees, a group of mysterious, cloaked beings ascended. Their silhouettes blended seamlessly with the night, a foreboding presence against the stormy canvas. In a sudden twist, the cloaked figures unleashed a volley of deadly precision, crossbow arrows cutting through the air with lethal intent. The once dominant phantoms fell one by one, their haunting cries drowned out by the fury of that tempest. Yet, amid the chaos, one phantom defied the inevitable descent into oblivion. Now, it bore the scars of numerous hits, yet its determination burned bright, and so, undeterred, it continued to soar through the tumultuous skies, an embodiment of relentless perseverance. However, as the lone survivor swooped in for a strike in retaliation, the cloaked beings revealed a sinister surprise, as, with a synchronized motion, they hurled a mysterious potion at the phantom. Upon contact, an inky blackness enveloped the creature, swallowing him whole. Days passed, and then, awakening in a mysterious chamber, the phantom found himself on the floor of oxidized green copper, an otherworldly surface beneath his floating form, and the walls around him were constructed of some strange stones that he had never seen. And all of this was illuminated by these strange metallic lights that bathed the room in an eerie, subscribable glow. The entire space felt like a cryptic realm veiled in mystery. And so, hovering above the circular expanse, the phantom's curiosity compelled him to explore. Yet, as he began to traverse through that chamber, the ancient mob spawners on the opposite ends roared to life. From the depths of those mysterious devices emerged countless strays and zombies. And then, suddenly, a group of those enigmatic black-cloaked beings materialized, each one wielding glowing diamond swords. The room became a battleground, an otherworldly arena where the clash of steel against the clash of flesh echoed in the air. The phantom, nimble and elusive, darted his way through that conflict, avoiding as many of the lethal strikes of his adversaries as he could. The cloaked figures, relentless in their pursuit, attempted to strike down the phantom with all their might, as they were trying to kill him. However, with agile movements, the phantom was able to swiftly maneuver into the corner shadows of that chamber, skillfully evading the deadly blows. Now, this fight went on for several minutes, those creatures battling the summoned monsters. But once they were all dead, the monstrous beings whom has brought him here foolishly declared that the room was cleared. They didn't realize that the Phantom was still alive in the corner shadows. They thought they had killed him, and so a mysterious tension lingered in the air as they departed, leaving the Phantom concealed in the shadows of the corners, alone. The green copper floor beneath him began to whisper secrets of the strange and enigmatic realm that he had entered. But there was little that he could do, as he had no idea what those cloaked beings were plotting. And so for now, he remained hiding in the shadows. Now, those enigmatic, cloaked beings continue to return to that room many times over the next few years. Their appearances marked by intense battles against the relentless waves of the newly spawned entities. As, in a peculiar ritual, they would confront the horrors of those mob spawners, engaging in a fierce combat with the strays and zombies, while the Phantom, hidden in the shadows of the chamber, observed the relentless cycle unfold with a detached, yet keen interest. After each skirmish, the cloaked figures would proclaim victory, confidently declaring that they had eradicated all the mobs within the chamber, before leaving once again. Now, this cycle of battles seemed endless, a relentless dance in a realm where time itself seemed to twist and warp, which forced him to remain hiding in the shadows, away from those cloaked monsters that sought his death. But then, one fateful day, a subtle change permeated the air. The cloaked beings failed to materialize, leaving the Phantom alone in an unusual silence. The chamber, usually a stage for violent clashes, stood still and abandoned. The Phantom, having lingered in the corner for what felt like an eternity, gradually sensed the absence of those enigmatic cloaked beings. And so, realizing that they were not returning, a surge of determination began to propel that creature to finally abandon his hiding place. Unfurling his demonic wings, the Phantom ventured forth and began to explore the mysterious room that had been his confined domain. And as the Phantom soared through that chamber, he uncovered an exit, likely used by those monsters after their brutal trials of combat. And so, without hesitation, the Phantom passed through that threshold, exiting that prison he had been confined to, as he entered into a colossal corridor that stretched into the unknown. The air cracked with a sense of anticipation as the Phantom delved deeper, driven by an insatiable curiosity. And that corridor revealed itself to be a labyrinth of wonders. Columns of that strange stone soared into the heights, and copper grates adorned the floors of each level, creating a mesmerizing display of otherworldly architecture. The metallic gleam of copper decorations enhanced the walls, catching the Phantom's gaze as he explored this new realm. Rooms, each holding secrets untold, branched off that main corridor. And so, the Phantom, freed from the grasp of those cloaked beings, embraced the opportunity to delve into these enigmatic chambers. And the very essence of this place seemed to pulse with ancient energy, beckoning the Phantom to uncover the mysteries hidden within. With each passing moment, the Phantom's journey became a quest for understanding, as he ventured into rooms filled with peculiar artifacts and ancient history, and traversed the halls that resonated with the whispers of forgotten tales, and he marveled at the intricate design of this surreal underground world. The monsters might have disappeared, but the Phantom's adventure had just begun, and the corridors echoed with the promise of discovery and unforeseen challenges that lay ahead. As the centuries unfolded within the confines of the mysterious chamber, the Phantom, once a wanderer of the shadows, found himself transformed by the timeless solitude. With no apparent escape from this subterranean realm, the ghostly being assumed a powerful role as he began to rule over the interconnected corridors and chambers that had now become his domain. In his ceaseless routine, the Phantom explored every nook and cranny, a silent monarch in a kingdom of strange stone and copper decorations, becoming a fixture of the underground landscape and adopting a measured rhythm as he feasted upon the sleepless souls of the zombies and skeletons that spawned within his domain. Yet, within the hallowed solitude, change began to stir within the Phantom. The lack of moonlight upon his skin brought a metamorphosis onto him. His ghostly skin took on an otherworldly color, a reflection of the isolation that had defined his existence. Eyes that had once glowed with a haunting green intensified, revealing a newfound night vision that allowed the Phantom to navigate the labyrinth corridors with even more precision. And the Phantom's flight, once graceful, evolved into a burst of swiftness that defied the very laws of the underworld he inhabited. He had become a silent warden, a guardian of the secrets concealed within the stone walls. The ability to crawl with unparalleled speed became a testament to the Phantom's adaptability, a skill honed through the countless cycles of exploration and feasts upon the sleepless bugs that resided on the floors of that chamber. And so, with all of these changes, he had become the White Phantom. Now, in the depths of his solitude, the White Phantom's heartbeat continued with an unusual calm, as the subterranean world had become a sanctuary, a home that resonated with the echoes of his existence. And the White Phantom embraced his solitude, finding solace in the routine. Now, as millennia passed, the Phantom, now a being of white-hued elegance and profound stillness, remained the undisputed ruler of the chambers. However, deep within the overworld, Steve, the intrepid miner, delved into the mines, his quest for diamonds driving him further into the unknown. But, unbeknownst to him, the subterranean world held secrets beyond his imagination, and he was about to uncover them. But, not knowing any of that, Steve just continued on, pickaxe in hand, hacking away at the stone that concealed the treasures he sought. But as he mined his way deeper into the ground. His path suddenly opened up into an expansive chamber, its walls covered with a mysterious luminescence. He had never seen anything like this, as the air cracked with an otherworldly energy, and Steve felt the unmistakable weight of eyes upon him. But ignoring the fleeting unease, he pressed on, torch in hand, eager to uncover the riches within this chamber. The corridor expanded into a labyrinth, and Steve, with a sense of wonder, ventured into its depths. Strange stones lined the walls, and copper grates supported the floorboards, creating an atmosphere of ancient majesty. He believed that no one had been here for a very, very long time. And so, believing that he was alone, Steve took the time to marvel at the intricate architecture that spoke of a history lost to time. Yet, with every step that he took, a subtle feeling crept over him. He couldn't shake the sensation of being watched. The shadows seemed to whisper ancient secrets, and the tunnels echoed with a quiet intensity that heightened his awareness. However, Steve dismissed all of it, thinking of it as just mere nerves, and so, undeterred, he ventured into the battle rooms that were filled with the remnants of ancient conflicts, a silent witness to the unseen struggles that had played out in the subterranean domain. The air hung heavy with a sense of doom, but Steve's curiosity overcame any fear within his soul, and so he pressed on, heading further within the chamber, his torchlight casting flickering shadows upon the walls. Unaware of the ghostly entity tracking his every move, pressed on, driven by the promise of untold riches and the mysteries concealed within the labyrinth. But several hours later, and far deeper within the chamber, Steve, the resolute miner, accidentally activated one of the spawners, unleashing a horde of strays and zombies. The underground chamber echoed with a cacophony of battle as Steve, undeterred, faced the relentless onslaught, and in a few minutes emerged victorious with each clash. Now, this wasn't easy, but the Steve was just not going to let some useless undead monsters get in his way of fortunes. And so, after winning that battle, he continued to head deeper into that chamber. However, his prowess in combat did not go unnoticed, for the White Phantom, silent and demonic, observed from the shadows, its hunger for his sleepless soul intensifying with every triumphant battle. And so, as Steve continued with his exploration, the White Phantom continued his stealthy pursuit. The prospect of consuming Steve's sleepless soul fueled the White Phantom's relentless stalking, a dance of predator and prey within the underground realm. The stakes rose when the Steve, perhaps sensing the unseen presence, began to run all of a sudden. The White Phantom, with its wings unfurled, pursued him through the twisting corridors and caverns. The chase intensified as Steve, driven by an instinct that he couldn't even comprehend, sought refuge. In his mind, something was wrong. He just didn't know what. And, in a surprising turn of events, Steve stumbled upon a bed, and despite the lurking danger, succumbed to exhaustion. He drifted into a well-deserved slumber, replenishing his energy and dispelling the sleeplessness that the White Phantom so desperately craved. Annoyed and determined, the White Phantom realized his chance slipping away. He should have attacked and stolen the sleeplessness of that Steve when he had the chance. But no, he had been too greedy for more sleeplessness, and now there was none. And so, the White Phantom retreated to the shadows, understanding that the Steve's respite was only temporary, and that he would have his chance at consuming his sleeplessness again in the future. Steve, now well rested, continued his journey, unaware of the White Phantom's malevolent intent. From the shadows, and seizing the opportunity to ensnare the Steve in a web of exhaustion, the White Phantom, with a calculated move, blocked off the beds and even sealed the entrance that the Steve had used to access the chamber. He was now trapped here, and his sleeplessness would only rise from this point onwards. And so, with the trap set, Steve found himself in a subterranean prison, cut off from the surface, and he was forced to endure all of that without any sleep. And so, as the days unfolded, Steve grew more and more tired, the exhaustion accumulating with no respite in sight. He was just so confused on what had happened to that soft bed he had slept on. But the curse of the White Phantom's presence had him thinking that his visions of that bed were just false memories, and that he never slept. And so, Steve, weakened by the lack of sleep, continued on with his travels, growing ever more tired by the hour. The White Phantom, content in his calculated move, watched on with a haunting gaze. Steve, unwittingly caught in the White Phantom's intricate maze, faced the descent into a sleepless abyss, his every step echoing with the shadowy laughter of the ancient guardian. As, on the 11th day, without any sleep, the White Phantom, sensing the opportune moment, emerged from the shadows. A ghostly figure, lunging at Steve with an otherworldly hunger. Shocked by the sudden appearance of this monstrous entity, Steve swiftly drew his sword. A glint of determination sparked in his eyes. The clash between the Steve and the White Phantom erupted into a ferocious battle. Steve's blade struck true, inflicting considerable damage upon the ghostly guardian. But undeterred, the White Phantom now reveled in all of its nightmarish glory, growled and bit back with a ferocity that transcended the ordinary. As Steve fought for his life, the White Phantom, driven by an ancient hunger, prepared to unleash his full might. A moment of intensity hung in the air as the White Phantom retaliated with a relentless assault. Steve, battered and bruised, felt the weight of his impending demise. but motivated by sheer survival instinct, Steve, realizing the dire nature of his situation, decided to make a desperate move. With a single TNT in hand, he raced towards the blocked entrance of his mine, strategically placing the explosive device before it, knowing that if this failed, he was doomed. And so, the fuse ignited, and within seconds, the mine echoed with a deafening roar of that explosion, and the chamber shook to its very core before the room began to fill with smoke. But through all of that, the Steve could see it. Torches. He had placed those within his mine, and so it must have worked. And thus, the Steve began to run through all of that smoke, and as he re-entered his mine, he began to make his way out of that underground hell as fast as he possibly could. The chase that followed was a spectacle, as the White Phantom screeched and bit, relentless in its pursuit for Steve, as he sprinted through the now chaotic tunnels. The intensity of that chase heightened with every passing moment, a deadly dance between the predator and prey in the underground abyss. As Steve burst into the blinding light of the surface, he found himself at noon. The once invincible White Phantom, now exposed to the harsh daylight, began to burn. Steve, witnessing the monster succumb to the searing sunlight, knew that he had found a way to escape the relentless pursuit. The White Phantom, writhing in agony and pain, was forced to dive back into the mines, hiding himself from the light, its haunting screeches silenced by the purifying touch of daylight. Steve, battered but triumphant, emerged from the underground abyss, the taste of victory mixed with the echoes of an encounter with an ancient guardian, as he then began to walk away from that mine, never to return, hoping to also never see that White Phantom ever again. However, as the night descended upon the world, the White Phantom rose into the inky sky. At last, he was free. The cool night air enveloped him, a refreshing sensation after the searing daylight and endless eons underground. The ancient guardian, having learned from the encounter with Steve, felt ready to embrace the world with a newfound urgency and subscribing power. Acknowledging the power of swift action, the White Phantom, with renewed purpose, soared through the night sky, ready to consume the souls of any of the sleepless. There was no waiting around now. He was going to get all of them. And so, his undead form moved with an almost desperate speed, cutting through the darkness at thousands of blocks per second. The sense of sleeplessness guided him forwards, and in mere moments, he had arrived at an illager mansion. With a sudden and ruthless onslaught, the White Phantom unleashed his newfound power. The illagers, caught off guard by the Phantom's relentless assaults, fought desperately, but their efforts were futile. And so, the battle unfolded like a macabre dance, the Phantom's every move calculated and precise. Shadows clashed, and the haunting echoes reverberated through the halls, as the White Phantom claimed victory, with the Illager mansion now silent the White Phantom found himself desiring more sleeplessness, and so he moved on to a nearby village. His presence was a nightmare, as the villagers were unable to comprehend the malevolent force that had descended upon them. In the ensuing chaos, the Phantom struck with lethal precision, leaving no one remaining. As the village fell silent, the White Phantom stood amidst the echoes of his conquest, feeling a surge of power coursing through his very essence. The sleeplessness that he had just harvested had rejuvenated him, and with each passing moment, he became more formidable. And so, the White Phantom, fueled by the taste of victory and newfound strength, discovered an extraordinary ability, as he now had the power to fly in the sun. And so, with sunrise approaching, the White Phantom soared into the sky with an eerie grace, his form bathed in the soft glow of night. But he no longer needed to be confined to the shadows, as the ancient guardian reveled with his newfound abilities. He became a force to be reckoned with, and no one was going to stop him. The world beneath him lay in trembling silence as the White Phantom's reign began to extend to all of those who failed to sleep. And so, in the wake of his conquests, the White Phantom reveled in the chaos and terror he sowed. Sleepless souls fed his growing power, and the world trembled in fear of his malevolent presence. No entity would ever dare to not sleep, for the fear of being taken by that monster haunted their every moment. With every passing day, the White Phantom's reign of chaos expanded. Villagers and illagers fell beneath his unending might, their inhabitants unable to escape the relentless pursuit of this ancient guardian of sleep. Sleeplessness became a collective nightmare, a plague that spread far and wide. The world now feared the relentless Phantom, and so the White Phantom's impatience fueled a reign of terror so swift and potent the resistance seemed futile. He had the power. Everyone was tormented by the White Phantom's relentless pursuit. However, his impatience, while it might have led him to great power and control, it would also prove to be his undoing, as after decimating a village by the sea, he sensed a new source of sleepless souls on the other side. But a storm loomed on the horizon. However, the White Phantom, blinded by his desire for more conquest of the sleepless, pressed forward, ignoring the dangers. And as he soared through the skies, thunderclouds gathered, and the storm unleashed its fury. Lightning struck around him, and the White Phantom, vulnerable to the elements, felt the searing pain of each electrifying bolt. The tempest raged on, doing some serious damage to the once invincible Guardian. Too late, he realized that this was a mistake. He shouldn't have done this. And then, out of the chaos, as he was on the brink of despair, a giant green axolotl emerged with a deafening screech. The White Phantom, already weakened, writhed in agony as the colossal creature unleashed its wrath. In the midst of that storm, the Phantom was overwhelmed, and so, falling from the skies, the White Phantom crashed into the unforgiving ocean, where an army of axolotls surrounded him, their aquatic forms closing in for the final assault. In his weakened state, the White Phantom could not fend off the relentless, amphibious assault. He was dying. And so, amidst the storm's tumultuous symphony, the White Phantom met his demise. The once feared guardian succumbed to the combined forces of nature and the unexpected axolotl assault. But wait, what was that green axolotl? And what demonic powers did he possess? Also, what happened next? Well, you'll need to watch this video to find out.